Jeep dark and full opaque, duckweed green, a littered lake, mirrored flat, smooth, still and deep. It would secrets hidden keep, undisturbed. The greeny frond adorns the green bubbling pond.
When Michael Othello asked how Estolia, as a religion, functioned without a book of holy writings, like the Bible or the Quran, I shared with him our capitulos and ensayos. He pointed out that the words within were not, for the most part, considered to be the word of deity. I told him that I would rather have the guidance of those who were as fallible as myself than rely upon out-of-reach teachings and edicts found in some parts of the holy texts. Most of what is written is about each individual's personal experiences. It is easier to be guided by those who are as prone to mistakes as oneself.
Gideon Zakarian, forward to the collected English Estolian translations.
10 days. No obligations, no lessons, no schedule, and the weather was going to be exceptional. Xavier and Max walked out of the classroom and into the spring air, and the freedom of it hit like something physical. They both flopped, theatrically, onto their respective beds. Staring up at the mural, Xavier felt the familiar pull, nearly an obsession by now, to get out there, to stand at each of those numbered locations and discover what waited for them. And yet, as his eyes moved across the painted ceiling, he found himself searching again, wondering if an 8th or 9th secret was still hidden somewhere he had not yet thought to look.
We have to do it,
Max said, distracting him from his focus on the map. Turning his head to one side, he looked at his brother. Max was not looking at him. He was staring at the mural.
Do what?
Check out the first secret.
Max said, his tone adamant.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Xavier asked.
You have riding lessons in the morning, preparation for the jumping competition next Saturday.
That won't last more than an hour,
Max said.
Uncle Antonio wanted to show me something in the temple,
Xavier said.
So who cares? We can meet in the spirit grove.
Adorns the green bubbling pond. He felt the terror and concerns. Max will feel them in return. A prayer loud with desperation while he strips and searches wide.
Xavier gratefully accepted Horace's lead rein from the acolyte. As he swung into the saddle, his attention was pivoting from the spiritual revelations he'd been given in the temple to the alluring mystery of the 7 secrets, as he and Max had started to call them. As they entered the spirit grove, those spiritual revelations receded along with the view of Mount Estoliana. While he and Horace followed each pathway, he consulted the map he'd sketched into his notebook. The final trail was more suggestion than developed pathway, but just when he doubted his information, the pathway opened up again. To his left, the green, bubbling pond from the mural lay half surrounded by large, mossy boulders. A grassy meadow sloped gently upward to his right. Rickety was already there, hungrily munching the grass in the slanting sunlight of the early afternoon. Xavier shivered and looked up at the sky. The sun was still shining in a cloudless sky. He frowned and looked around for his brother. Maximilian wasn't visible, which left Xavier wondering, not for the first or even the 10th time, which of them was first born. Perhaps he should have been marked as the next king. His chin jutted out and he took a deep breath. He was supposed to demonstrate the maturity to accept his position in life, but sometimes he found it very difficult to do, especially times like this. He looked back down at the bubbling pond. No map showed this place, none but the one painted on their bedroom ceiling. The water was dark green and opaque, thick with algae, smooth as glass, but for the intermittent rise of bubbles and the slow concentric rings they left behind before the surface closed over again. Along the edges, duckweed gathered in bright clumps. He glanced up at the meadow. Rickety was still grazing unbothered. Horace had drifted close and was doing the same. He scanned the boulders, the tree line, the slope of the meadow. There was no sign of Max anywhere. He moved closer to the water, trying to see into it, but the surface gave nothing back. His breathing quickened. His heart began to beat rapidly. He could not see the bottom. He could not see anything beneath that dark, still surface, nothing at all. Suddenly he knew, beyond any doubt, that he did not want to be king. He'd give everything he had just to see his brother. He closed his eyes. He listened to his heart until the beat slowed down, counting each one until he reached 20. Then, in the quiet, his uncle's words came to him.
Deity will listen to you if you listen to Deity. Open your heart and mind. Feel what Deity wants you to know.
He concentrated on listening, feeling, being receptive to the whispers of Deity. Deity whispered peace back to his soul. His brother was pulling a prank on him. After a moment, he decided to teach his brother a lesson. He fell to his knees, let the tears his fear had wrung from him fall freely, and began to pray aloud.
Deity, please help me find my brother. I love him with all my heart and all my soul. I need to find him, Deity, to know he is safe. Mother almost died giving birth to us. I don't know if she can handle it if Max dies. Is he under the water? I'm not that good at swimming. Please, Deity, I'll do anything to save him. Give me strength so that I can find him.
He swallowed and then stood. After a moment he started to pull his shoes off, and then his trousers. Max knew perfectly well he could not swim. He stopped when he was down to his drawers. He went over to a large mossy rock and climbed onto it, peering anxiously into the water. He paused long enough to wipe the tears off his face and then took a deep breath. Before he had to make good on his bluff, his brother's shout cut through the air. Max sounded as panicked as Xavier had felt earlier. He turned to see his brother racing up to the pond, his face ghostly white, his expression panicked.
I'm okay! I'm okay! I'm okay! I'm okay!
Max shouted over and over, closing the distance between them. With a grin, Xavier jumped off the rock to run to his brother. They both heard something snap, and then Xavier cried out in agony. Somehow, he had landed wrong. At the blood and the pinkish-grey mass beneath it. It took several moments before Xavier realized he was seeing his own bone, sticking out from his leg.
I'll get father!
Max said. Xavier watched his brother dash over to Rikiti. The two raced out of the clearing, and then he was alone. Horace whickered softly. His ears perked in the direction Rikiti had gone. When he did not reappear, Horace turned his attention back to the more important business of enjoying sweet spring grasses.
The path grows thin and fades away. Focus needed or he'll stray. Sunlight brightens all the land. A meadow slopes beyond the trees, where bubbles rise and rings expand.